Migration has always been shaped by war, opportunity, and politics. But in 2026, a new force is rewriting global mobility: the cost of living. For the first time in modern history, millions of people are moving not because of conflict or crisis, but because their home countries have simply become too expensive to live in. Housing costs, inflation, and stagnant wages are pushing people to rethink where home should be. Countries like the United Kingdom and Australia, once considered dream destinations, are now seeing a quiet but powerful outflow of residents. Meanwhile, lower-cost countries such as Portugal, Estonia, Malaysia, and Uruguay are experiencing a surge in interest from migrants seeking stability, affordability, and a better quality of life. This shift is so strong that global searches and migration inquiries for countries with monthly living costs under $1,500 have risen by 34% in the past year. This is the story of the cost of living migration shift, and why it's becoming one of the biggest migration trends of 2026. The breaking point: why high-cost countries are losing residents. The United Kingdom, the housing crisis. No one can escape. The UK's housing market has reached a breaking point. Rent in major cities like London, Manchester, and Bristol has skyrocketed, with average monthly rents hitting levels that many young professionals simply cannot afford. Combine that with rising energy bills, stagnant wages, inflation that outpaced salary growth for 3 straight years, and you get a population that feels squeezed from every direction. For many, the math no longer works. People aren't just struggling, they're planning their exit. Australia, it's a paradise. With a price tag, Australia remains one of the most desirable countries in the world, but desirability comes with a cost. Housing prices in Sydney and Melbourne have become some of the highest on Earth. Even smaller cities like Brisbane and Perth have seen rent increases of 20–30% in just 2 years. Add in rising grocery prices, increased transportation costs, a competitive job market, and many Australians, including migrants who once saw Australia as their final destination, are now looking abroad for relief. The dream is still alive, but it's becoming too expensive to maintain. The rise of affordable alternatives. As high-cost countries push people out, lower-cost countries are pulling people in. These destinations offer something rare: affordability without sacrificing quality of life. Let's break down the 4 countries leading the cost-of-living migration wave. Portugal, Europe's affordable paradise. Portugal has become one of the most attractive destinations for cost-conscious migrants. Why Portugal is booming: average monthly living costs, $1,200 to $1,500. Affordable housing compared to Western Europe. Warm climate and beautiful coastlines. Friendly visa policies. Strong expat communities in Lisbon, Porto, and the Algarve. Portugal offers a European lifestyle without the European price tag. For many UK and Australian migrants, Portugal feels familiar, safe, and culturally comfortable, but dramatically cheaper. Estonia. Digital freedom meets low costs. Estonia is one of Europe's most underrated migration hotspots. Why Estonia is rising fast: monthly living costs, $1,000 to $1,300. One of the world's most advanced digital societies. Easy residency pathways for entrepreneurs and remote workers. Safe, clean, and highly efficient public services. Fast internet, modern infrastructure, and low corruption. Estonia is especially popular among tech workers, digital nomads, remote employees, entrepreneurs. It's Europe's quiet powerhouse, and people are finally noticing. Malaysia, Asia's best value for money destination. Malaysia offers one of the best cost-to-quality ratios in the world. Why Malaysia is exploding in popularity: monthly living costs, $800 to $1,200. Modern cities like Kuala Lumpur and Penang. Excellent healthcare. English widely spoken. Tropical climate. Affordable housing and food. Malaysia is attracting Australians seeking proximity to home. Europeans looking for warm weather. Digital nomads wanting low costs and high comfort. It's one of the few places where you can live well on a modest budget. Uruguay, South America's hidden gem. Uruguay is quietly becoming one of the most stable and affordable countries in the Americas. Why Uruguay is trending: monthly living costs, $1,000 to $1,400. Safe, peaceful, and politically stable. High-quality healthcare, strong social services, beautiful beaches, and relaxed lifestyle. Uruguay appeals to migrants who want safety, stability, a slower pace of life, affordable living. It's not flashy, but it's reliable, comfortable, and increasingly popular. Interest in countries with monthly living costs under $1,500 has risen 34% in the past year. This spike isn't random, it's driven by real economic pressure. Key reasons for the surge. The first, housing affordability collapse. People can no longer justify paying 40 to 60% of their income on rent. The second, inflation outpacing wages. Even middle-class families feel poorer each year. The third, remote work freedom. Millions can now work from anywhere, so they choose affordability. The fourth, visa programs opening doors. Countries like Portugal and Estonia actively welcome migrants. The fifth, lifestyle prioritization. People want safety, sun space, stability, savings. And they're willing to move to get it. In the past, migration was about prestige. Moving to the UK, Australia, or the US meant success. But in 2026, the mindset has changed. People now ask, where can I live comfortably? Where can I save money? Where can I afford a home? Where can I have a better life? The new migration trend is not about status, it's about value. Portugal, Estonia, Malaysia, and Uruguay offer exactly that. Yes, and the trend is accelerating. What experts predict: more young professionals will leave the UK and Australia. Remote workers will continue relocating to cheaper countries. Digital nomad visas will expand. Affordable countries will see population growth. High-cost countries may face labor shortages. The world is entering a new era where cost of living is the #1 migration driver. This shift will reshape economies, housing markets, job markets, visa policies, global mobility, and it's only just beginning. The world is rebalancing. The cost of living migration shift is not a trend, it's a global correction. People are choosing affordability, stability, quality of life. Countries like Portugal, Estonia, Malaysia, and Uruguay are becoming the new migration hotspots because they offer something priceless, a life people can actually afford. As living costs continue to rise in traditional destinations, more migrants will look toward countries where their money goes further and their lifestyle improves. This is the future of migration, and it's happening right now. Subscribe for more adventures.